On this episode of Carnage, we put the finishing touches on our 2K builds. Hey guys, it is day 3 of our Holden Ford 2K challenge. The idea is that we buy a couple cheap ship boxes and spend $2,000 each on them. Now we just had a couple days off while our Calumet hoists have been installed, but now they're in, it's time to hook in and get these things done.
We actually had a very late night working on this VT. We've put the whole thing back together, carby, manifold, the whole thing's done. We had a very late night. Street Machine had to go home at a decent hour this time, so we stayed back, but what's next?
Well, the hoists are almost finished, so we can get it up, get the auto out.
Yep, get that sorted, rebuilt.
Get that built. I found a 4-port reg and fuel pumps on Marketplace on Facebook.
Yep.
Guy Chachi, sounds dodgy as, would not even give me his address to pick it up. He's going to meet me somewhere and let me know.
Good thing about dodgy, dodgy's cheap. We need to be cheap. Well, what do you reckon? Well, let's get stuck into it.
So, down at Max Performance this morning, picking up our turbocharger. So this is just a stock FG turbo. So it's costing us about 400 bucks. They've only got a small front wheel and they're only good for about 350 rear wheel kilowatt, which isn't a lot of power when you're talking about a Barra, but for us and the AU, that's plenty of grunt. So the mission today, get the turbo on, get those E85 injectors in and bolt up that drive-by-wire throttle body. I'm back with a turbo manifold. So this is a genuine AIT cast iron manifold for an AU. Pretty rare, and yeah, we'll see how this sits. If this sits better, we'll use this. It's going to cost me $350 out of my budget, but if it saves us a lot of trouble, why not? So John there has got a bunch of fancy equipment to degas the air conditioning system because we need to lose it because it interferes with the space for our intercooler. Now it looks like we've got a lot of space there, but actually the intercooler is a bit long. And over there, those junctions get in the road. So we're going to degas the air conditioning system legally. That will allow us to remove certain parts of the air conditioning system. It means it won't work, but you know, at least we're doing things legit. Most people just crack a fitting and let it all go out into the atmosphere, and that's not nice. Air conditioning gone.
So this is what we've got off Benny. 4-port reg, MSD coil, nothing sus.
Excellent.
This whole back thing is full of everything I've brought for the VH and never used. Like, look at all the crap we've got over here. Look, brand new. So what we do is we file it.
How's that? All this shit and it's still not going.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure you had one of those carby leakages.
Looks like we're taking the tub. Like, should we take all that shit as well?
Apparently, the factory XR6 turbo doesn't use a flange gasket. I like to use one. So I'm going to give that a try. Zane's got 1 million of them because he doesn't use them, and all the aftermarket kits come with them. So anyway, we'll throw that on, throw the turbo on, see if it works.
We've rigged this up to get the fuel pressure right, but it's a EFI setup, so on a carby you want about 8 PSI, 7, 8 PSI, something like that. So now it's time to adjust it. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Boom. Done and done.
So I've just pulled the throttle pedal out because we're putting a drive-by-wire throttle in it to go with the new Barra ECU. So out she comes, out with the old, no more stretched 20-year-old cables, put in some new electronic goodness. So I'm calling the throttle pedal done. It's a bit of a mismatch of all these little random brackets I made and bolts, but at the end of the day, all I really cared about was that it didn't flex too much and it got to 100% throttle. Now, it does still flex a little bit. There's not a whole lot to mount it to under here, so sort of just working with what I've got. And in terms of getting to 100%, it might not look like it, but it gets just to 100% as it hits the carpet. So
just lubing up the O-rings on these injectors, because Vaso is great for making tight things fit. Been working for generations. So today hasn't been quite as productive as I would have liked. Anyway, we've got our turbo, we've got our manifold, we've got our injectors. The budget has quite taken a hammering. We don't have a lot left, but we've got all the major stuff though. So we've got a couple more days left on this. Hopefully on the dyno, make some power.
Should be right. Better late than never.
Hello.
Today we wasn't all that productive. We had to do a whole lot of running around to get parts and what have you, so it's quite late at night, but Kane and Rob and myself, more those two, are going to pull the box out today, get the diff in tonight, and then tomorrow hopefully get the auto sorted. Yeah. And because we actually wouldn't mind trying to fire this thing, well, it's going to get fired tonight. It's not looking that good at the moment, but that's the aim, so yeah, give it a crack.
Okay, so we've got lots to do today. I've been already down to Bunnings, grabbed some aluminium strap, so we're going to use that to mount our coils, and then some steel to mount our intercooler. So we're going to have to make up some mounts for both. We've got these rocker cover bolts, but they don't come apart. So what we've done is slotted these bars so they can go under the bolts. So we can still use it as a rocker cover bolt, but we can also use it to try and hold our coil packs in place. That is pretty much down. I think, yeah, I think that's right. Cool.
So we're almost at the auto joint. Get in there, we'll get this auto done, get it back in the car and fire it.
Reese from Diffco hooked us up with, I think it's Trevor. TJ.
Yep.
So we're on the way to his place, which we're almost here, and then it's game on.
Third gear is still there. That's usually the first to go. See, they're blacked up,
Yep.
steels.
So it's just gotten really hot.
Oh, that's a couple of thousand Ks, that's what that is. See, they're the original friction still in there.
So this box has never been apart.
Look at that, no linings left on them. That's just the little,
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Can we still use the plates? That's no big deal? Or?
The steels,
Yeah.
oh, they've got a little bit burn. I've got plenty of second-hand ones there, so no problem there. Look, see the linings falling off?
Yep. Wow.
See, those first few are rooted.
Yep. We've got the auto recode and sorted out. Put some clutches in it, bit of bands, all the good stuff. TCT has given us a converter. It's a 3.5 grand converter, or 3200, and that's going to get us out of trouble. So big thank you to these guys because they've done it today, just out of the blue. We rang them today and they're like, come down, get it sorted, and here we are, and it's sorted. Now to go back, put it in the car and blow it up, put on the dyno. Bit of goodness.
Throw some rods out.
Yes, we're happy to do that.
We'll try them and these ones.
Yeah, we'll take the whole. Yes. How much shot you reckon we can put through this?
250.
There you go. All right, mint.
Hopefully that helps you.
100% it does. Well, that will get us out of trouble. Well, now all we need is a nitrous line. We've got the bottle. We're good to go. So all we've got to chase up is a nitrous line.
We'll have a look tonight for you and pick
See what
one
you
up.
got. All right, beautiful.
Hope to have one tomorrow for you.
Well, big thank you to the boys at Helen Performance for chopping us out, donating us a bloody nitrous kit so we can go fast and beat the AU. So game on. All right, well, thank you very much.
Can't let a Ford beat you.
No, especially Scotty.
So we're coming to the end of day 4. We'll still be here for a couple more hours, but still coming towards the end of day 4, and progress has been slow today. Got the coils mounted, which is good. They're fairly secure. Turbo's doing my head in at the moment because the housing doesn't want to rotate to where I need it to be, but that's all right, I'll get that sorted. Intercooler is getting mounted right now. We've got the drive-by-wire throttle pedal mounted as well, so we've made progress, but slow progress.
So while we're at Transco, we left Peggy to rewire the whole VT from MSD to nitrous. All right, so at the end of day 4, what have we achieved today? We got the transmission built by TJ. We got a converter from TCT. And we're still going, as you can see. We've got Peg from All Race doing all the wiring for the nitrous ignition system. Got robbed on the fuel system. Money, money, money. It's costing me a fortune. My budget's going out the window, but these guys work for like $3 an hour, so that's not too bad. The aim for tonight is to get it fired. But yeah, today's been a pretty wasted day, to tell you the truth. Lost a lot of time just doing running around, so we have to work all night to try and catch up to the boys of the AU.
The dump of awesomeness. So the Commodore boys worked late the other night until 3 a.m. in the morning to try and get the Commodore finished. They got it fired up, so I figured rather than have the day off like I was supposed to, I would come in, and the boys from Max Performance came in and gave me a hand as well. So we got a lot done yesterday. So we got cooler piping done. We decided the battery was in the wrong spot for us, so we've moved the battery into the boot. So cooler piping's done. We're gonna actually go through the bonnet with the exhaust. The other boys decide they're going to go through the bonnet for their air cleaner. Well, we're going to go through the bonnet with our exhaust system. It's just a matter of button up cooler pipes, get that wiring finished, and we've got to drill a hole in the sump for our oil drain back. But we did get a lot done yesterday. Car's looking pretty good. We're going to do air intake through the headlight to the turbo. Obviously turbo air comes out through the intercooler back into the throttle body. Looking mint.
This will be the last day we work on this car. So we've got to fix the distributor, we've got to lock the dizzy, and then we'll hopefully go on the dyno. So we managed to get this thing started. We worked till 3 o'clock in the morning, but trans is in, diffs in, motor's all done and fired. It sounds like a boat or a standard VT 5 litre, I guess. So yeah, today's going to be a big day, but by the end of today, we should be ready to rock and roll and race the AU and beat the AU, because that's what we're going to do. How good is it to work on a VT 5 litre in the morning? What's the oil hot block?
The moment of truth, drilling a hole in the sump. So obviously it's still got oil in it, so we'll drain all that oil and bad stuff out later. All right, now we've got to tap it. That's pretty much perfect.
Do you have racing 7s for a VT 5 litre? Holy rig, we just need everything so the gauge goes into that holy rig. Tell you what, just see if you've got them in stock. Here you go, Speed Pro. Yeah, and also a garlic bread. That's it, and I'll pay cash. Yes, pizza has arrived. Chuck it here. So, how much do we owe for this? Compliments of Street Machine. This is the money out of the budget. Thank you.
You joking with me?
Yeah. He just warmed it up for you, bud. Here at Street Machine, we like to have fun.
Scotty's asked me down here today to have a look at running a single overhead cam on a Barra ECU. We've done this in the past with a few patch looms, and once you remove the unneeded Barra plugs from the loom, it plugs straight up and the Barra ECU doesn't know the difference between the motors. Anytime you're customising a loom to this degree, it's always really good to lay it out first before you tape it up and finish it up and put it in your car. It'll work. Yeah.
something's gone seriously wrong. Well, we're having trouble starting the VT, but we've got peg onto it. We've narrowed it down to the MSD. He's pulled the MSD apart, fixed what he needed to fix, he's back together, so fingers crossed she starts. Hopefully I got the magic touch. Magic fingers. All right, so we got us started after a little bit of stuffing around. Kane's putting the air cleaner on. Now to head to MPW, where we're going to chuck it on the dyno and get the carby sorted. Tune a bit of nitrous, see what power she makes.
John's all in on the engine bay, bolting the dump on.
It's the up pipe.
Yeah, not the dump pipe, the up pipe. We're all like, this is going to take ages, the sort bugs and that. Boom, fired up straight away. It is awesome. We're going to run this thing up on the dyno. Zane is going to tickle the tune through that Barra computer. Oh, this could be amazing. It will be amazing.
I hope it's amazing.
The clutch doesn't work. Every time we bring it on any sort of power or boost, the clutch goes zing, and yeah, we're making no horsepower. So anyway, back to the workshop. New clutch. It looks and sounds awesome though. And then we'll be back on the dyno, see what this thing really makes.
So we're here at MPW, we've just got the VT on the rollers. We're having a few issues with the ignition by the looks of it, so we're going to get it back off the rollers, take it back to the street machine workshop and see what we can find, and hopefully come back and make some more power.
So it is a new day. We're back here in the Carnage workshop. We've got the AU up and out to Calumet hoists. We need to pull the gearbox out. We had this thing on the dyno not too long ago, and everything went really well. It was running in really nice, and then as everybody suspected, the clutch just let go immediately. Zane was trying to load it up to get some power figures, and we were barely getting over 23% throttle before it just went zzz, and that was it, game over. So gearbox out today. We've got a new clutch on the way from Australian Clutch Services, rated for apparently over 400 real kilowatts, which should be awesome. So we'll throw that back in, get it back to Zane on the dyno, and see what kind of power we can make.
Ooh, look at that. It's like a button clutch of some description. And a nice purple pressure plate. It's definitely worn. It's not worn out, but it don't have much life in it. It's down to the rivets The flywheel looks okay. We're just gonna surface it a bit with this 60 grit. I should take it off and machine this, but this is Carnage. So after a nice little piece of butchery there, we've got a new bush. And I'm just gonna give him a little tap. So we've got our clutch pressure plate, we've got our clutch plate up there, we've got our clutch alignment tool. So I'm gonna make sure that the disc is the right way around, which it is. So the flat side goes towards the flywheel. So this is a ceramic button clutch. And the guys at ACS have nicknamed it the Gearbox Killer. I hope that's not a prediction, but I reckon this has some amazing clamping force. Alright, after a bit of a false start on the gearbox, got it all in. Just last couple bolts.
Well, we just pulled up to MPW to dyno this bad boy. Let's see what can make some power. We're thinking 100, 150 shot, 250, whatever we have to do to beat that AU, mate. So now it's time for fun, and we've already got the car named. It's called the AU Eater. We're coming for you, Scotty and Keen. That's pretty good, man. The things you got to do to warm up a nitrous bottle, because there's no money left of the $2,000, we can't afford a nitrous heater. I'm not used to this nitrous stuff. See, with a turbo, you just put more boost into it. This nitrous stuff, you got to like set stuff up, you got to heat stuff up. You gotta like put nitrous in the bottle. You gotta borrow a bottle off a mate because you can't afford your own. It's lukewarm. We've made 233 kilowatt naturally aspirated and 435 horsepower with 180 shot of nitrous. And I tell you, we can't do that without saying thank you to a few people. You got Stoker that helped us build it, Con that did the nitrous tune, also with Paz, Adam that did the dyno tune and hasn't blown up. So now it's time to race, and I think it's time we come for you, Scott.
Yeah, okay.
We're coming for you, mate. Game on.
Let's do it.
So the clutch is in and it works extremely well. Thanks to the guys from Australian Clutch Services. Now, the car's on the dyno here at max performance and we're about to run it up. Zane did a little bit of preliminary tuning last night, just at baseline pressures, and the thing's making some really good power. This thing is going to go well when we turn it up a little bit, do a little bit of extra tuning. I think we're going to see some really impressive numbers. 350 kilowatts. That's cool. We have some power, and a lot of power. This was our stock figure, 122.7. That was straight from Grays Online. Then we did our little, catalytic converter and intake mods. Got 151 out of it. That was a pretty good gain. This is what we're seeing now. 347 kilowatts at the tyres, 17.5 pounds boost. The stock FG turbo is starting to tap out in the top end. So this is about the sort of power they'll see out of a Barra with that turbo as well. So pretty impressive for an old AU. So we've got to do a couple more little things like put the bumper back on, cut a hole in the bonnet, get this thing ready for the big challenge, which you'll see on the next episode of Carnage. What, you expected a nice round hole? This is Carnage!